Mr. Safavi is an English language instructor, IELTS expert, and Cambridge certified teacher trained with CELTA Grade A. He specializes in online education. And today he will be sharing with us his expert opinion on online and hybrid courses versus face-to-face courses. With that, I ask you to pay your undivided attention to Mr. Safavi and help me in welcoming him to the stage.
So, well, I'm going to talk about online education, something that some of you might be already familiar with. Any online teachers already here? Anybody teaching online courses maybe? Skype? Not many, or not any, perhaps. Oh, just one. Well, online education is sometimes considered a rather, scary realm, and people sometimes think twice before entering it. I'm here just to hopefully inspire some of you guys to enter it and create some competition for myself. Well, to start with, we're going to look at the evolution of teaching very rapidly. I'm taking you back in time to those days when the tools of communication and passing knowledge to the future generations were as primitive as this. But let's fast forward to those days. I mean, just maybe a century ago, when this was the image of a classroom and a teacher. But not long after that, we entered the age of interactive whiteboards. To many of us, this was considered the ultimate technology available, and our image of geeky teaching, perhaps. But we didn't stop there, and we ushered in the age of online education, where you can have access to anyone, almost anywhere. Now, the primary question is, why teach online in the first place? Well, teaching online is convenient. It might sound selfish, but teachers are, quite tired all the time. So it's perfectly okay to take a break sometimes and do things at home or in your own office rather than commuting back and forth to your classes. But actually, this is the truth. I mean, it's totally convenient. People, I mean, this is what the students see you like. This is their image of their teacher. But in fact, this is what is underneath. Now, the lack of commute, I mean, when there's no need to commute, can give you this sense of comfort, because you're just doing it in the most convenient way possible. What I'm trying to say is that it could be anywhere with a backdrop. It doesn't even have to be a studio or anything. If you look closely, you can see me there in the corner. It could be anywhere, maybe in the bathroom even. Anywhere with a backdrop could be your classroom. So hopefully you too can take advantage of this, and liberty and freedom of location. Now, let's say you're teaching in Iran, Mashhad. As an English teacher, well, this is where you're based, and you have access to the students of your own city. Well, how many IELTS students are there, do you think, in this city? At best, you could be popular enough to have this wide, reach of market. I mean, you could have your own market, your own kingdom even. But the thing is, why stop there? I mean, why not expand your market share, your reach to other cities of your country? Well, this was supposed to be working better, but it's Windows anyway. Now, the thing is, you could teach from your home and be nationally recognized as an IELTS teacher. Well, this is what many people, who wouldn't like to be recognized nationally rather than just regionally? Now, let's take it even further and look at the whole world. I'm not exaggerating. You can even reach places that are too cold to travel to, even, I don't know, North Canada, perhaps, these places are all potentially your market. And every student in every corner of the world could take advantage of your teaching expertise. So,
ciao tutti. Hi, I'm Soja from Italy. I'm studying English at IELTS Jewish Online Academy.
Pardon her pronunciation. Well, you've heard of Doctors Without Borders, but it's not too much to say. We could be teachers without borders, really. Now, skeptics always, ask about, they cast doubts on practicality of online education and how effective it would be and so on and so forth. I'm going to address a couple of those myths, and I'm going to try to dispel some of those common questions put forward. Well, myth actually. Well, you cannot teach online because the internet speed is so low in Iran. Well, you've heard this a lot. You might be asking this question right there in your heads. Well, the truth is, it is not that bad. I've been doing this for years, even before LTE, and it worked. Right now, there are many classes held on my cell phone, simply using the LTE, which is really, really fast. If you're lucky enough to be close to those BTSs, you could exploit the full bandwidth. But generally, you could have a few instances of glitches, only at peak times maybe. So in most cases, in most hours of the day, you're lucky enough to get a steady connection. And it's okay. It's totally fine to get disconnected sometimes. If you do get disconnected, you can simply apologize to the person and get back on the track again. The thing is, learners understand. So even if it is low, it is not actually true. I have many students from villages even, doctors working in remote areas. They do online courses, online IELTS classes with us. And now, thanks to these Instagram, these social networks, and I don't know, things like Imo or WhatsApp, everybody knows now that you can view videos, you can watch videos pretty much without buffering. So this testifies that you could even, if you can use your Instagram for watching a story perhaps, you can also teach people using similar platforms, of course. I'm going to talk about the platforms shortly. Now, if you are able to, the second myth that is usually commonly heard is you have to be very tech savvy to teach an online course. Well, if you can operate your own cell phone, you could do online teaching as well. It's not much different, much more different than that. The other issue is the financial aspect. How am I supposed to get their money? How can I collect the tuition fees? Well, locally, I can recommend a service here. It's called Wahamta, which is an Iranian fintech startup, pretty active in this area of collecting money from clients. You send the client a link, they pay online, and you get the receipt. They get their own receipt, and everything goes on perfectly smoothly. So, and if you're working internationally, the PayPal solution is the way to go. You might be asking, how can we get a PayPal? That has a long story. I can give you some personal advice on this later on. Now, clients won't find me. How am I supposed to market my teaching, my courses? Well, if you do your work professionally, well, you'll be discovered. You can develop your virtual presence in Google search. You can have your own website and so on. But if you're afraid to step in that realm, you can always work for brands that are already working here, that are actually active with a presence online. Now, how can we equip ourselves with teaching tools? I'm going to offer you a toolbox. This is a very basic toolbox, and there's a lot of variation to it. I'm not going to discuss it technically, but very briefly, I could tell you that there is the need for a communication device, a laptop, but I do recommend having a stand to bring it up, to the student's eye level. You don't want to be looking down on at the student like this. It's going to be quite intimidating. Bring it up to your eye level. That stand can be something you can purchase or make one. You can produce a makeshift stand out of secondhand things in your home, preferably with a wireless mouse and wireless keyboard. It's even healthier. It's good for your back. You can work straight like this. You can sit up and sit straight and teach straight too. One thing that everybody knows we need is your headset, of course, and I do recommend getting yourselves to LED lights. To USB powered LED lights. This is actually for proper lighting. You don't want to look scary to your students or too dark or something. These two LED lights can give you the basic lighting you need. They're very affordable too. Now, when it comes to software, as for applications you want to use, it's free. Skype is free, and it could serve as the perfect solution for the beginner. You could run one-to-one classes, or even up to 6 people can participate in your class via Skype. And most importantly, it is free. It's offered for free. No need to pay anything. And some other alternative solutions. One organizational solution is Adobe Connect. If you have a school, if you own your own school, you can go for Adobe Connect, which is one of those popular products of Adobe. It can accommodate a class of more than 200 participants. So there is practically no limit to the number of people you can host, as long as your server is good enough. That's an organizational solution rather than a personal one. So if you're doing it on your own, if you want to start your own personal business, do it on a Skype. And this morning, actually, at noontime, I think it was. One of the colleagues asked me about how you shared the whiteboard. How do you write things for your student? How do you collaborate with the learner? In fact, Google Docs gives you this opportunity to collaboratively write on the same page. You produce a page with the person's name, specifically produced for that student. You could write, and as you write, the student can read from those lines, and they can also contribute to the class. They can actually write, and you can correct them, you can comment on them during the class and even post-class. So the combination of a Skype application and Google Docs could give you the boost to get it started. Now, how do we start? Well, like I said, you can do it on your own, or you could join a school. Well, in fact, we're now hiring some motivated online teachers. So those people who are interested and need some support technically and educationally and everything. We are hiring people who are interested. If you just want to scan this QR code, you can enter the site right now and fill in a short form. Interested applicants will be invited to start working as an online teacher. IELTS.com/join, or you can simply bring out your phones and scan this. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. Well, this is what my friends think I do. This is what my mommy thinks I do. This is what the society thinks I do. This is what kids think teachers do. This is what I think I do. But this is what I do. Thank you.